Good day and welcome to today's edition of Divine Mandate Hour. Divine Mandate Hour is a current affairs program of the All Progressives Congress that takes an in-depth government how to vote rightly for a correct candidate. And today we shall be discussing the topic, Charter of Needs and the Socio-Economic Agenda of the Divine Mandate Administration, if elected from 11th of March, that is Francis Gubernatoria. And we have in the studio this morning is Barrister Chinedu Ituma, a human rights activist. Sir, you're welcome to Divine Mandate House.
Thank you, man.
It's a pleasure. Yes, the candidature of Francis said that his politically steps he moved so far is amazing. Can you tell us the humble beginning of Francis Gubernatoria?
Chief Gubernatoria, Francis Wilfred, to the best of my knowledge, a respected and humble family. But the one has lived, because he started from his service from the scratch. He served the stakeholders from his political world to local government under the president.
The enshrinement of justice, peace, and equity by
is over, but in law, oral evidence once has evidences of data upon attest to it, it stands in law. So the zoning arrangements, to the best of my knowledge, is the clarion call of our founding fathers. Because we know what we suffered, the next generation we suffered, especially some of us from the senatorial zone, the four local governments came from old Enugu and Anambra State. Likewise, the four local governments from the senatorial zone, the two local governments from Nigeria, we call ourselves people from Abakaliki block.
Yeah.
We have suffered migration, and our founding fathers who are advocating for this zoning area to keep the equity, justice, and fairness in the state. Any arrangement must have to be maintained to avoid marginalization by the majority. Because some of our brothers from the south of the zone that came from Abia State and Union State also suffered the same fate from the northern states. Therefore, everyone has to key to the zoning arrangement which has been laid down by our forefathers to avoid marginalization, and to also help us to develop our state.
About the verdict of the electoral on March 11th would decide the solution to the problem.
History of Francis Gubernatoria. We now call it us executive. In fact, it's only speaking for itself by the points we are going to discuss in this place. I can mention few points that I'm going to go through each one after the other. In his manifesto, we talked about the industrialization of the Benue State. We also spoke about education. Social amenities are not left behind, and agriculture. So looking at these points that we are going to speak on, it will give to the fact that the political arrangement or the coming of Francis Gubernatoria in the forthcoming administration will not just be a political promises, but he will get to that. Okay? That is our promise.
Now you talked about education as part of the agenda. Can we just discuss the basics of this divine mandate mantra?
Thank you, sir. In education, sir, you and I know that Ebonyi is educationally backwards. That is why the first executive governor of Ebonyi State, distinguished Senator Dr. Sam Onyewu, focused much on that education. We can say that the professors we have today in the universities are drawn from that education agenda of Dr. Sam Ewu, which he maintained by sending our people abroad because he knows where we are coming from. It has assisted us. And passing from his own agenda in leadership, the present administration focused more on development, infrastructural development. That is why the incoming governor, Francis Ogbonniyi, is anchoring on the education to make sure that what the previous administrations have made, that have established, that he maintained it by sending our brothers abroad to do their masters and also to upgrade their education, because it will help us. It's not just a political promise. It's what
carefully on the issue you raised, talking about giving scholarship to
to upgrade their education. Because if you watch what we have now, I am of the opinion, and looking
topic basically is focusing on socio-economic agenda of the Divine Mandate Administration. And when we talk about the economy, before now, Ebon was nothing to write home about. But with the infrastructural development of the present administration, it has given us a facility. You know, the caterpillar revolution within the use and planning of the country, including I wouldn't know if they're going high production industry is still functioning. So how do we pick up these areas where we have marijuana industry?
I will beat it up. The manifesto of Francis Ogbonniyi, when you talk of industrialization, you have said it all. The Abakaliki cement industry, the pipeline production company at Izambo and other places. There will be a recruitment to fit all those areas. And the arrangement from other states, state governors, who has hands in the Abakaliki cement industry. The arrangement is ongoing to make sure that that industry is functional.
Okay, let us go into another aspect of the manifesto, which talked about aggressive agriculture. Ebonyi is an agrarian state, and so far we practice, hand-to-hand farming, as against the mechanized farming in developing countries. I know too well that the present administration bought about 13 bulldozers to enhance agricultural production. So, if elected from 11th of March, what do you see him do different in terms of boosting agricultural production in Ebonyi State?
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Thank you that you just mentioned the bulldozer that the present government secured. In his manifesto, he is going to add more, and also to make sure, because the present administration has dwelled much.
Farmers, how do we ensure that this farm input gets actually to the farmers? Because over time, in some cases, they don't get this farm agriculture within the rural areas. Rather, it gets to political hands. So, what is Winfrey going to do to ensure that it gets to the rural farmers? Of recent, we had the rice pyramid, which Ebonyi State contributed to the national grid. So, what do you have to say about it?
Thank you, sir. That is the need of having government close to the rural areas or to the people. The arrangements are the political arrangement. The political arrangement is that the amenities will come through the local government, to the development centers, and to the wards, which will be monitored by the ward coordinators that are already working for Ogbonniyi in the forthcoming administration. So the social amenities or the what government will say to the rural areas will not be hijacked by the so-called stakeholders. It will get to the hands of the people in the rural areas by the arrangement that is laid down.
All right. Well, if you just joined us, viewers, the socio-economic agenda of the Divine Mandate Administration. As you know, this program is Divine Mandate Hour to sell the candidature of the All Progressive Congress state governor, that is Francis Nwifuru, if elected come 11th of March. And Barrister Ituma has been with us in the studio. Now let's move over to the next agenda in the manifesto, which talked about healthcare system, functional healthcare system. You know, the healthcare system over time has been in a bad state before the coming of this administration, which over time will have the issue of brain drain in the health sector. Francis Ogbonna, if elected come 11th of March, do you think he has any concrete plans to ensure that the healthcare system in Lagos State is really, really
Exactly.
just as highlighted?
Exactly, sir. He has such arrangements.
Okay.
When you look at the health sector in Lagos State, as you just said, is nothing to talk home about. And the arrangement that Ogbonna also has is that the health sector will be extended to rural areas. At least in all the political wards, we at least have two health centers, at least for the beginning, because it will help us to reduce the death rate and the suffering of our people. Because if you watch the health sectors in Ebonyi State now, if you go to 171 wards, what you cannot see there, what you can see there is nothing to write home about. So Francis Ogbonna is working on making sure that every ward has at least two or more health centers for the beginning. So it's on pipeline, sir.
Can we talk about unemployment? You know, the high rate of unemployment, not only in Ebonyi State, is alarming. And hence we have Francis Ogbonna with the incoming in quote, if elected. Do you think he's going to put in the margin trying to reduce the unemployment rate?
Exactly, sir. It has a plan because unemployment, as you just said, is all over the states, all over the 36 states of the country. In Ebonyi State, to reduce unemployment is his priority, sir. Because when you mention industries, really establishing industries, railways, and airport that is already on the ground, the Abakaliki cement industry we are talking about, the Ezilo cement industry we are talking about, Abakaliki cement industry we are talking about, and the pipeline industry, the pipeline plant industry, we need to employ people to work there before it will be functional. Also, the health centers, when you take it to the rural areas, you can see some of the Okada riders, many of them are graduates. People will be employed, and it will reduce unemployment. So, reducing unemployment is one of his priorities in his manifesto. And he will do that up to 80%. Nobody is perfect. But I am sure, based on the background he's coming from, he will achieve that up to 80%.
All right. When we look at civil service reform in Ebonyi State over time have not really repeated in the civil service, and there is need for reform in this area. Can you just highlight the plans he has, as well as look at the welfare he has for senior citizens of Ebonyi State?
Thank you very much, sir. It's like, what I know as an insider is that we will work with professionals. And the professionals have been harnessed from different fields. And the area you mentioned is one of the areas that make sure that we do not put our egg in one basket in developing Ebonyi State. We will not base only on federal allocation. Agriculture will be there. What you mentioned now will be there. So professors are only working They have been invited from different states, and they are on ground, are harnessed to the way that it will exist abundance, not only basing our interest on federal allocation.
All right. Ebonyi State has been faced with a lot of insecurity issues, challenges. Let's just look at our neighboring communities and borders. You have the Hazel of crisis. Recently, we have that of the Fium and the rest. What will this administration do if elected into office to curb the issue of boundary clashes among neighboring communities?
Thank you very much, sir. The Francis rules coming administration will not only make sure that there is peace in Ebonyi State. We will also work with the incoming National Assembly members who will be speaking from the floor of the House in National Assembly to make sure that the issue of boundary dispute is looked into. PC elect Pastor Ozinachukwu. It's already in talk. Equity, justice, and fairness, which is the clarion call of our founding fathers. Ebonyi North started with Samuel 1999 and 2005. Going from the political arrangement of our forefathers, it shifted to the central, which Elechi has a slot from the local government. Now to the man who is driving the vehicle,
Yes.
Chief Engineer Dave Omai.
Yeah.
And inequity, sir, and fair the equity we are talking of. So there is every bit for us, for the Ebonians, to go in line of justice by voting APC. Because when we talk of other political parties, Ebonyi South that is still in the government has a candidate of PDP. The same Ebonyi South also has a candidate of Labour Party. So the only zone that is maintaining the equity, which we're supposed to adopt, is APC. So there is every need for everybody to go behind APC and Francis Ogbonne.
Thank you very much. You know, yeah, we had massive turnout, people coming to cast the ballot, centered on Labour Party. Are there fears, are there butterflies in your stomach that, Labour Party this time around will come with another dimension?
I don't see any fear, sir, because election generally in the and see that Labour Party sweep everywhere in Enugu State. So the issue now, the we are talking of, and let me tell you, sir, that we are learning every day and we are developing. If you watch the National Assembly election, as I said, which they have done, they also voted personalities or people, as I can say it, in other political parties. That is why you see APC winning the 3 senatorial zones election, and some to PDP and some to Labour Party in Ebonyi State, as the record has it now. So we are confident and comfortable that our people will kill to the equity and justice arrangement of our forefathers. As a warning again.
Yes.
In Ebonyi State, but a lot are people from Abakaliki block. And our brothers from South should have it in their minds that it will be dangerous. And the resultant effect will be negative if we did not maintain that equity. Because it will make it be burying around so that everybody will have a taste of it. And it will also bring development to our 3 zones. So the resultant effect, sir, is negative. It's just
Yes, let us talk about it. He becomes the 4th democratic elected governor of Ebonyi State, and then the 7th edition of our democracy. What are the prospects in this young man that started responsibility of carrying a bond state in the next 4 years?
Thank you very much. In politics and in administration, he has served. He's loyal, he's respectful, he knows the need of his people. That is why he is patient. If you look at what is happening in the State House of Assembly, it will be difficult for one person to handle that mountain for 8 years. But because of his intelligence, diplomacy, and his character, he was able to hold that house for 8 years. And I am sure that that is one of the characters that his principal saw, the present governor of Ebonyi State, that made him to be convinced that handing over Ebonyi State affairs to him, he is sure, even if he's sleeping,
Yes.
that his subject, Francis Wilfred, will handle that mountain very well, and nobody will be disappointed.
All right. Thank you, Barrister Ituma. Are there other social economic programs this administration implemented trying to bring on board, despite the issue of health, education, and industrialization, as well as infrastructural development?
Yes.
We talk about human capital development. Let us base on that aspect.
Thank you, sir. You know, this is a step that is, it's a journey that you start with a step. There are other social amenities, as you just said, but you can't put your hands in all of them once. The campaign organization is manifesto, has to start with the ones. So he has other ones, but it will be batch by batch.
Okay.
So there are other social amenities that his administration will work on.
Okay.
But we will start from the ones I just mentioned.
Yes, as a human rights activist on the social well-being of people of Ebonyi State when he finally emerges as governor of the state.
Thank you, sir. Security will not be one. Yes.
Okay.
Because when your subjects are not secure, that the issue that you fight the insecurity in Ebonyi State to a standstill, and other areas that is still also on that.
We just discussed about his personal to take care of the people's set of needs.
Yes, sir. I don't know, because it's like repeating myself.
Okay.
He's somebody that you can lay trust on, based on his past records.
Incidents.
Yes, his past records. He have served people, he have served his masters, and he has this record of trust. Because when you don't trust somebody, you don't hand over the affairs of the state to that person. So he has a very good record that we are comfortable that with the special grace of God, as you just said, that it is divinely orchestrated. Two things happen, sir. Or let me just say one. During Army Day celebration, you can just watch what happened. Many of the government functionaries are at stadium where they were doing the Army Day celebration. And you can see a bird that fly from nowhere and perch at his forehead. Wow. Showing that he is divinely choosing to drive Ebonyi State in the forthcoming administrations.
All right. Well, viewers, if you just joined us, we are on Divine Mandate Hour on the people's set of needs and the socio-economic agenda of the Divine Mandate Administration under FOA, if elected. Let us talk about welfare packages for senior citizens of the state. I know too well that the present administration has done well in trying to balance the ratio of taking care of senior citizens as well as pay salaries that are went to for civil servants. What other things do you think should be done with that? Because if we have more people who are joining the retirement stage and they will be able to line there, what system do you think should be put in place that will not curtail all this, trying to qualify those workers?
very much, sir. The issue of seeing welfare packages to senior citizens is also part